What is up, everyone? This is Jake,
And I'm Kevin.
and we are stepping in for Alex for a moment. We're giving him a little break, and so we will be doing your first round coverage of top eight here at Impact Gaming Center. It has been a pretty fast rounds of standard. We started at 10 o'clock, and we're getting to top eight around four. So
It's
I say
probably
we've
the
been
fastest one I've been to. It's super fast, turned over. Not too many people going into overtime, so it's been
no
pretty nice.
surprising with a lot of control in the room too. So got to be pretty content with the speed of play. Thank you everyone for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Mention, hey, what's your favorite standard deck for the season? Because this is the last RCQ that I think we're going to be hearing or seeing. So
Yes, this will be the last one that they can either go to Minneapolis or Hartford, and then after that, we're going right into Modern.
so if post what your favorite standard deck is, and then if you're watching on Twitch, give us a like, follow, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, give us some of those Bezos bucks. And so
All right, so right now we got Sophi on Lotus Bloom, and then Wyatt on Gogari Midrange. What's your thoughts about Wyatt's deck?
so this is open deck list, so we're not going to have deck lists in front of us for this event, or for this match. So Wyatt, Golgari, pretty straightforward, good bling green black cards, nothing crazy to say about it. Um, Looking at the deck list, Caustic Bronco, which is a little bit of an older card, but the usual go for the throats, Mosswood Dread Knight, Sentinel of the Nameless City, kind of the generic green black deck that we've all kind of come to know and love. And then Sophi is on a we have a label as Lotus Bloom. It's this really cool artifact combo deck that I assume it's got a 4 of Simulacrum synthesizer, so it's probably got a fair amount of those in the deck, or a fair amount of that type of effect where you're just playing artifacts and making construct tokens to overwhelm your opponent.
Yeah, with repurposing Bay, you can turn pretty much any of their lower cost and turn them into a synthesizer and just run them over with the artifact construct creatures that they have in the deck. So it's pretty crazy artifact synergized deck. Because if I remember, Solemn Slackering is whenever artifact enters. It is.
I think it's a 3 cost or greater.
Yeah, but you don't have to cast it. Is the big thing. So you can just
Gotcha.
kind of loop it with repurposing Bay. Am I correct on that?
I don't know this deck list off the top of my hand or head. So this would be a experience for the both of us. Enigma Jewel, that card is very powerful. I don't think it found a home, but that card's insane.
Yeah. I honestly don't remember what that that jewel does. Hold on, let me look.
I can pull it up right up here.
And I was correct with the synthesizer. So it is whenever an artifact of 3 or greater hits the battlefield, you create a construct. And so with repurposing Bay, you can just kind of loop them and just get constructs nonstop.
Here is a way we can see this.
Well, the Enigma Jewel, it just taps. You tap it, create 2 colorless, only spend it on artifact abilities, and then you can craft it with 4 more non-lands with activated abilities of 8 plus 1 blue.
But we'll hopefully see in this match. We're getting off the start. Sophi with a mountain. Looks like both players might have taken a mulligan or two, so
I'm pretty sure Sophi did. I did not see if Wyatt did, but I'm pretty sure Sophi did.
gotcha. Wyatt milling a Glissa over into the graveyard. Sophi with a pass. Nothing happening quite yet. Double Surveil Land. Probably not the dream start for most Gogari decks. I imagine
Double
you're
Glissa in the
really
graveyard.
you want to, if you're not hitting your lands, you want to be trying. You got to get an elf out there. You're trying to get a Glissa out there fast. You're trying to get one of your really good 3-drops. But there's that Lotus
We were
that
talking about.
Lotus Bloom that we're talking, the synthesizer. But then they also are looking at the big Lotus, Radiant Lotus, which I assume is probably part of a combo in this deck.
I'm sure there's some combo that we do not know about in this deck. Not one that's very common. It's Lotus Boom, not Bloom.
Oh, gotcha. What is Boom?
Oh. Oh, we were just corrected. We did not realize it was Lotus Boom.
It is Lotus Boom, not Lotus Bloom. My bad. There's a Lotus Bloom exists though, right? That's a
I know it's a card.
yeah.
What card it is? I need to learn. Did we see?
3-mana. This is
Not what that card is.
Thran Spider.
Created the construct, which is always nice. Affinity for artifacts, creating
3-mana reach. When it enters battlefield, you and target opponent create a tapped Power Stone token. I think it pays 7. Look at the top 4 cards you library. May reveal an artifact card from among them. Put it in your hand. Put the rest in the bottom in a random order. So
ramps them doesn't really do much for Wyatt. So it's always a plus. Plus it.
When you're playing these artifact decks, Power Stone tokens are great.
They're so
But
good.
when you're playing the green-black mid-range deck that doesn't quite, you know, need play artifacts, what are you going to do with them? But why are you going to hit it with a Maelstrom Pulse from, I think that's one of the Warhammer decks with all the weird it's Radiant Foiling, Surge Foiling. I don't know what they're all called now.
Another Solemn Slackern. That's such a good card. Not Solemn Slackern.
Synthesizer?
Synthesizer. Thank you. Creating another construct off the first one because of the first one, and Scry 2. I think they did 2 to the bottom.
I didn't see. Cracking in for 5.
Wyatt is in. Definitely on the back pedal right now.
Yeah.
Every artifact that's 3 or more.
So he's going to keep making a thing and a thing and a thing.
Yeah. And then if Sophi finds a repurposing bay, for instance, that's just going to chain more artifacts and just run away with the game. So Wyatt
putting more things in the battlefield. Wyatt though has the Lizard Trinkle Throwback, so he could possibly blow up a few of Sophie's artifacts, or one of them, but I don't think going 1-for-1 against the deck that's just going to keep making more and more dudes is a great plan.
Yeah, especially since Sophi will eventually be able to activate the Throne Spider and just start getting more cards.
And just churning through their deck. Yeah.
I think Wyatt.
We got to think about Frilly. Nope, we're just going to play Shieldred.
That's a good card to start with.
It's a good body. It's not going to. It's going to block these Thran Spiders pretty well.
Oh, Sophie's playing something.
Another Thran Spider.
Yep.
So we're going to get some more Power Stone tokens.
2 more constructs.
That's a lot. There's a lot of bodies on the battlefield.
A lot of bodies in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tens right now.
The card that's Broken Legacy and powerful in Modern, but I wouldn't say game breaker. Starting to show some power in Standard. I think these Outlaw Thunder Junction cards, the one specifically from the Vault, I think not the Vault. The expansion was supposed to be an expansion that wasn't the Aftermath set. A lot of those are really powerful and doing a lot of and spiking in price right now.
So right now Sophie's looks like swinging in with a 10-10, and then the Artifact Flyer I believe is a 5-6, but could be a 4-5.
I think it's a 3-4. That's it's from Aether Drift. It's an incredibly good draft common, but I'm gonna trade off with one of the constructs.
So I believe Wyatt is now at 11.
Yeah. If you ever see the player life totals, they're right, we're wrong. We'll try to keep up with life totals best we can, but always refer to the phone on the screen or the phone on the table. There's a Frilly going to come in, blow up an artifact. Unfortunately, not enough green sources to hopefully gain life. I think Wyatt would have really hoped, but and unfortunately, these Thran Spiders are 6 power, and I saw a cut down on Wyatt's hands, so definitely not going to be able to cut down anything soon.
Yeah, especially with the constructs just being so massive right now.
That's one of the problems with the cards like cut down. You have to include them in your deck for game 1 against the red decks, but you know,
Definitely coming out after that.
yeah, definitely not an ideal card when you're fighting against 2/4s and 3/4s flyers and these big-bodied artifact creatures.
Wyatt obviously trumps the construct and goes down to 4 life. It's
Let's
not
see.
looking good for
What is
Wyatt.
what does Wyatt need here? Probably he needs the land number one, but
And
and
there
we're
we
gonna
go.
scoop him up and we're gonna go into sideboarding.
Let's look at sideboards.
What's up? So, do you want to take Sophie's deck?
That's
or
fine.
okay.
I'll let you go first so I can actually look this over.
So Wyatt has 2 Obstinate Bailoffs, 2 Terror Sunders, 1 Nissa Sen Animist, 1 Vivian Reed, 1 Tranquil Furlback, 1 Gix's Command, 1 Choking Miasma, 2 Archfiend of the Dross, and 3 Unholy Annex, and 1 Duress. So I'm going to assume that Wyatt's going to bring in probably these Terror Sunders, then another Nissa. Vivian Reed's probably really good destroying artifacts. Gix's Command can wipe out if Sophie has a bunch of little tokens out, it's really good. And then another Tranquil Furlback, probably really good. The problem is a lot of these cards are very expensive, and Sophie's deck can explode out really fast.
Like that was really fast for Sophie
Yeah.
that game. Sophie has Ghost Vacuum, Dissection Tools, or both of those, 1 Pyroclasm, 2 Spell Pierces, 2 Disdainful Strokes, 1 Soulless Jailer, 1 River Churn Monument, 1 I cannot read that. What does that say?
The Fildery Silex.
Okay. 2 Torch to Tower, 1 the Stone Brain, and 2 Mythmatic Barrage.
The Silex is 3 mana. Oh yeah. The Fildery Silex is 3 mana. It's like an E effect where you can put a count. It's a Ratchet Bomb E effect. You can put a counter on it and blow up all cards with CMCs of whatever counters were on it. And then I believe you can pay 10 and sacrifice the Silex to deal 10 damage to a player.
That is a good question. I feel like that.
Probably not the best versus Gogari, but we're pulling up here on Scryfall above us.
But I feel like
Just so I can make sure I think I got the card name right. Yep, it's right here.
Yep.
It's basically it's a Ratchet Bomb.
Yeah.
It's 2 mana. Put an oil counter on it. You can tap it to blow everything up of the CMC that it was on when you sacrifice it. They can remove 10 oil counters from it to deal 10 damage to any target. So probably not bringing that card in, but
I feel like there's not much else you might want because a lot of this doesn't really do great into Gogari.
just generic mid range.
Yeah, so Sophie might bring it in just because like what else do you bring in?
Yeah.
It's
Disdainful Stroke's probably pretty good for countering those high cost cards.
Yeah.
Once you start, if Wyatt can get a Shielder down, protect it. I don't think Sophie's got a lot of removal that deals with a 4/5 very well.
Yeah.
Lithomantic Barrage, not the card that says kill blue white stuff is not very good versus the green black deck, so definitely not bringing that in.
Yeah.
Stone Brain might be okay if there is a specific card that Sophie knows. I mean, it's open decklist, so
Yeah.
Stone Brain might be really good. Spell Pierce might be okay. The problem with Spell Pierce is Gogari turn 1 through 3 is usually playing either a lot of creatures. So you're trying to get those turn 2 Sentinel, the Nameless Cities, Glissas, pretty sure the Schisms out really fast. Those, I mean, the deck plays a mountain of 3 mana, infinite value 3-drops. So
do you think Disdainful Stroke would be worth it?
If to counter the Gix's commands, Nissa, which Sophie knows he might bring in.
Yeah, Sophie does see the deck list. It is open deck list, so they do know each other's sideboards, but they don't know how they're going to sideboard.
Yep.
So it could be good. Like it's one of those things. Like you bring it in, and then maybe Wyatt doesn't find any of its 4-drops, and then it's stuck in Sophie's hand. On the flip side, if Sophie does bring it in, Wyatt does have all of his 4 or more cost.
Yeah.
It'll be really good in that instance.
I will also say Standard right now is not artifact focused. It's really enchantment focused. So a lot of these, especially like Gogari, is focused on, beating the mono white decks, the Otters decks. So you're not playing a lot of artifact removal. You're playing enchantment removal. But I think Gogari is pretty good at handling just permanence.
Yeah.
Obviously, probably why it's taking out those Go for the Throats because they're going to do nothing in this matchup.
Nothing.
Which is a good plan by Sophie. Hey, if artifacts are the best thing in the format, or if
What one to
a removal spell that doesn't kill artifacts is best in the format, let's play artifact creatures because they are pretty good. So
It'll
we're gonna head back.
Definitely help Sophie in game 1. So let's see if Sophie can wrap this up in game 2 or if we're going to game 3 here.
Wyatt has, I think, a few too many hands. I cannot see Sophie's hand.
It looks like Wyatt
There's
is
a
trying to
synthesizer, a
Maze
Maze
Mind
Mind Tome.
Blast
That
Zone.
card seeing play in standard right now is wild.
It's such a good card. So
I mean, I loved that card back in 2019. I loved Maze Mind Tome. It slots in every deck, pretty unless you're like a hyper aggro deck, but you might sideboard it. No, that is. I'm unsure what that red card is in Sophie's hand.
looks like a Mountain, Spire Bluff Canal. I can't see the second. Okay. Sophie kept. Wyatt is taking the mole. So Wyatt will go down to 6 cards. Not a good spot to be when you're down a game, but it's better to.
Braided Net? I think it's Braided Net.
Braided Net?
Might be that.
So many cards. You're looking up Braided Net real quick. I'd say it's really hard to know every single card in Standard.
That is not Braided Net. That is Sombra de Dragonente. I definitely type in Braided. Thought about Chuck probably typed in Braided Net, but
It's close enough. Okay, it looks like
well, we're getting off to the races here, so I don't think we're not going to bother looking up. We'll see what it is when the time comes. Oh, that was definitely not Braided Net. That was a red card, but
Yeah.
I thought I don't know. Bunch of cards I don't know. Here's that Caustic Bronco.
It's a good card draw.
Good card job, but can deal a lot of damage too if you crew it wrong.
I did watch Wyatt earlier, and he crewed it and hit one of his opponents with Vivian, so it was just 7 damage turn 3 right then and there.
Oh, but he saddled it, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a Mosswood. Get on the horse. Swing.
Let's see.
We got
There's
a
the
5.
Vivian
Ooh,
again.
there's a 5. Oh my.
That's 7 damage right then.
Yep.
And Vivian destroys the artifact, so that's also a
Yeah,
very good
Vivian,
card.
Big Mama Vivian, I think is very underplayed right now in Standard. She deals with a lot of the big flyers, deals with artifacts and enchantments. The only downside of Vivian is when she down 6, she's down 6 to 1, which is really
It's very
hard to
weak.
protect.
Yep. Sophie scryed at the end of Wyatt's turn, put it to the bottom, and then scryed at the beginning of their upkeep, and then so she kept 1 card on top.
Yep.
Did not see what it was.
There's a synthesizer.
Good card.
Good card. Will it be enough to stop the onslaught from the horse and Dread Knight?
1 top, 1 bottom.
Untap and draw. Wyatt drew another Mosswood.
Let's see.
Play land. Here's another Mosswood.
That's good.
Saddle the horse, I assume.
Yep, there it is.
Crack in. We got a base of 9 plus 4.
Ooh,
Or 5 plus 4, so 9 total.
down
So
to
we'll
4.
be down to 4. Holy moly. This is a fast game.
That's how Wyatt has to win, though. If you let it go too long, Sophie just gets too much value. And then Blast Zone just isn't going to do much right now.
No. 3 mana. There's a spider.
Okay.
Trigger synthesizer, so we're going to make a dude.
It's 2 blockers.
2 blockers and Caustic Bronco, for being called Caustic Bronco, definitely doesn't have Death Touch.
Oh, there we go.
And there's another affinity card. So
3/4
wow, that's
fire
all
trigger.
started from nothing, and now we got four bodies on the battlefield. Holy moly!
If Wyatt gets lucky with this top of the Bronco, the game could end here, though.
Yeah, he's been pretty good so far. So let's see what. But if Bronco doesn't hit anything, this could be really bad for Wyatt,
Yeah.
because that Bronco's definitely not living past the swing.
It's definitely risky, but I think it's one of those, like, you have to go for it.
Yeah.
If you don't, Sophie's just going to have too much value, and
Yep.
she's going to fall too far behind. But I think Wyatt
Would have
is
been wild if Wyatt had like a surveil lane or something
Yep.
to see what was on top. But Wyatt's got some Preacher of the Schisms, a Vivian, so we're gonna do 3, 4 mana.
I guess
Or we didn't see the Archfiend.
Mm.
So there's the Archfiend.
Archfiend
4
is good.
counters.
Archfiend also has flying, which is very
Yes.
important.
It's got Flample. Or no, wait, no, it just has flying. It's got the destroy, or when a creature dies,
They lose 2?
yes,
Okay.
you lose 2. That card has fallen off of favor in standard. The whole demons plan just doesn't exist anymore. I think it's just too slow.
It's really hard against bounce. 'Cause it's like, oh, that's a cool 4-drop. Let me bounce it to your hand and then kill you. So it's
Yeah.
very slow. So yeah, it's definitely has fallen off quite hard.
Let's see if Wyatt puts the ride, has the demon ride the snake horse thing.
It does
Just a
not look like
pass.
Wyatt wants to take that risk.
Nope.
Having a 6/6 flyer does give you a little bit of time.
I mean, so Sophie's constructs are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sixes.
It's pretty
7 sevens. I think the copy token is another power
Those
stone.
are power stones. Yeah.
There are so many. We were talking about it earlier in another game, but there are so many tokens in standard. It's hard to have them all. And I think the wild part is when you're drafting and you open a pack, and
Just not there.
in like of your 3 draft packs you open, 2 of them are advertisements for secret layers.
Yeah.
That doesn't help me keep track of what tokens I need for draft where every single card makes a token now.
Especially with the overlords, like overlords being one of the top decks.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the repurposer bay. So now Sophie can start chaining and making more.
That's pod, right? That's just artifact pod.
Yes, artifact pod. Yeah.
Sacrifice the
grab
tome.
Go grab another.
What are we gonna go?
Synthesizer.
3-drop. Oh, another synthesizer would be great. No,
Oh.
the braided net.
I don't remember what that does. I pulled it up.
You just looked it up.
Let me look that up real quick again. Braided
Is it
net.
is it like a tapper or something?
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you. When it enters the battlefield, something happens. Braided enters the battlefield with 3 net counters on it. Remove a net counter from Braided, tap another target non-land permanent. Its activated abilities can't be activated for as long as it remains tapped. So it just
Okay.
taps it.
Do you think Wyatt would have been better here swinging with the Bronco?
I
I mean, you lose 2 blockers, and I think you die on the crackback if you don't. But
high risk, high reward. Sometimes.
incredible. I mean, it's you're leaving the entire game to 1 swing.
Yeah.
Because you don't have blockers. So these constructs, I'm not gonna do the math on them, but they're huge.
I'm counting 10/10s, and so Wyatt has to block at least 1.
Yes.
Um,
Which, I mean, Wyatt blocking with these Mosswoods is not a bad deal.
with the braided net also, it also stops, if Sophie wants to take this line, stops the Bronco from attacking.
Yes.
And so I think Wyatt might have missed his opportunity to end the game because I don't think Sophie cares about the 6/6 anymore.
No. But if, there's a realistic world where if Wyatt attacks and Sophie misblocks, the Archfiend just kills Sophie after creatures die.
Oh, that is true.
So
There's
we're swinging with the. Oh,
Okay.
we're gonna
So Sophie is going to go ahead and tap the.
Archfiend.
Okay.
You
smart.
can't. Settles a sorcery.
Oh, it is. You're right. Yeah. Yep.
This is comp REL, so I don't believe we can take it back if we wanted to. A action has already been taken.
Yep.
Yep, that's one of the things of Saddle. Saddle is not a instant speed.
Yeah, because Crew is at instant speed, but then Saddle. But Saddle is definitely sorcery speed. So Wyatt went ahead and played.
Rollback.
Yeah, and then I don't see what, if anything, Wyatt destroyed.
Yeah, I am unsure. It might have been a construct I think it was a construct or something, but
A golem. Okay, thank you. But that's leads you to the purpose. Is like do you kill the constructs or do you have to go after the creator of the constructs? Because like
Yeah.
you have to deal with both, but I feel like you have to kill
There's no mass artifact removal. This is the Boommobile, I believe.
Mhm.
Which that card was supposed to have an infinite combo. There's like an infinite. There's a few infinite combos with that card, but I don't think anything's broken out from it. I think a 4-mana like a 4-mana engine like that's really hard to play. But it looks like we're going to make some mana with this Boommobile. It's red 2 for a 5/5 vehicle. When it enters that format of any one color, spend this mana to activate abilities, and you can pay a red 2X to exhaust this vehicle deals X damage to any target. Put that many counters on this vehicle.
Sophie went ahead and activated that and killed the Bronco, so that's one less blocker.
Yeah.
Tapping the.
Yeah, I don't see. Unfortunately,
one block, and I believe Sophie has 3 constructs.
Oh yeah, these guys are big. Even if there's triggers after damage, I don't know if it matters. And there's the fist bump. Well, that was a quick game. The Sophie's deck showing that it has a lot of real power to get over these high removal decks. I mean, Simulacrum Synthesizer's shown itself in multiple formats.
Such a good card.
To be really powerful and, control formats. I think the big score cards as we go on. No sound. Something happened out there. So, as we go on, I think these big score cards are going to keep going on or keep exploding in popularity as we see how they work. But thanks everyone for watching. If you like the content, give us a like, subscribe. If you liked any of the cards you saw today, you can go to impactgamingcenter.gg and buy any cards on there. There'll be a link in the comments on where to buy everything. But stick around. We'll have some more rounds of Standard. And this is Jake saying see you later.
I'm Kevin. Maybe back next round. We'll see.
We'll see what Alex lets to do. See you, everyone.
See you.